Coming to the yesterday's continuation class, gastrointestinal hormones. Previously we discussed gastric glands and intestinal glands. So gastric glands and intestinal glands which releases some secretions which helps in the digestion of the food material. Like as gastric secretions, HCl, calcium, intrinsic factor, pepsinogen, and again pancreatic enzymes like as trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, and bicarbonates, water, mucus, HCl, which helps in the digestion of the food material. But here, how the hormones are secreted or how the hormones are released means which are purely under controlled by the neural regulation. So here, activities of gastrointestinal tract are controlled by neural and hormonal activities. Here, first initially we observed in the buccal cavity. First, the initiation of the digestion process takes place in the buccal cavity. How it means sight and smell and presence of food can be stimulated the saliva from the salivary glands. Means saliva which secreted in the buccal cavity from the salivary glands, but the controlling signals are controlled by the brain, major nerve center. So this is one type of signaling mechanism, and another one is gastric and intestinal secretions are stimulated by the neural signals also. Secretions are juices. Gastric and intestinal juices are stimulated by the neural signals. Coming to the digestive juices are carried out by local hormones by the gastric and intestinal mucosa. So what are the local hormones? First one we know about that one, gastrin. Stimulated by epithelium of stomach, and which releases HCl and pepsinogen. So gastrin, the hormone which is secreted from the epithelium of the entire stomach, and which also releases the HCl and pepsinogen. And coming to the second one, enterogastrone. And second one is enterogastrone. It is also called GIP, gastric inhibitory peptide. Which are released from the epithelium of duodenum. Gastric inhibitory peptide, which is in the name of inhibitory, means which inhibits the gastric secretions. So this one which inhibits the secretions of gastric juice and inhibits the gastric motility, which inhibits the gastric secretions and gastric motility, gastric inhibitory peptide. So another one is secretin, and third one is secretin. It is also released from the epithelium It is also released from the epithelium of duodenum, which acts on pancreatic acini. Pancreatic acini, which stimulates water and bicarbonates. Coming to the next one, that is fourth one is CCK, cholecystokinin. Epithelium of duodenum and acts on pancreas and gallbladder. So it stimulates the secretions of pancreatic enzyme and bile juice. Coming to the fourth one, that is CCK, cholecystokinin pancreaenzyme, which secreted by the epithelium of duodenum and acts on pancreas and gallbladder. So which stimulates the secretions of pancreatic enzyme and which releases the gallbladder, or which stimulates the gallbladder and releases the secretion by juice. And coming to the another one is, this is fourth one, and fifth one is enterocrinin. So the enterocrinin, which is secreted from the duodenal mucosa, and it stimulates the secretion of, or releases the succus entericus. Sixth one, villikinin, which is secreted from wall of the intestine which stimulates the increasing the villi and rate of absorption also. So these are the another more 6 hormones secreted from the various gastrointestinal tracts. First one is gastrin, second one is enterogastrone, and third one is secretin, and fourth one is cholecystopancreaenzyme or cholecystokinin (CCK), and fifth one is enterocrinin, and another one is villikinin. Calorific values. Calorific values means which provides energy. We know about the carbohydrates, and next one is proteins, and another one is fats. So carbohydrates which are converted into the glucose, whereas the proteins which are converted into the amino acids, and the fats which are modified into the fatty acids and glycerol respectively. So when we take 1 gram of carbohydrates, and proteins also, carbohydrates and proteins, which gives 4.04 kilocalories energy. So 1 gram of proteins and carbohydrates is equivalent to the 4 kilocalories energy. Simultaneously, when we take 1 gram of fats, which is rich in calorific value, that is around 9.0 kilocalories value of the energy. So among these three, which one gives huge energy means fat bodies, because it is around 9.0. So this is the calorific values of both carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Okay, next. The final end topic of the digestive system is disorders of the digestive system. So most of the disorders which are related to the digestive system is caused by inflammation of the alimentary canal by various types of bacteria and some of the microorganisms, and simultaneously some of the worms. We know about that one, roundworms and hookworms and pinworms. Roundworms are nothing but we know about that one, tapeworms. So these worms mostly affects various types of disorders related to the alimentary canal. So some of the other disorders caused by the various types of activities, like as we know about that one, first one is jaundice. First one is jaundice. Okay, which the jaundice which mostly affected by the liver, that is called hepatitis. Again, overutilization of the drugs which leads to the disorder of the liver, that is called liver cirrhosis. Again, what is the main symptoms of the jaundice means? First one is appetite. Appetite is nothing but a lack of hungry nature. Next one, jaundice, which deposition of the bile pigments and the various organs which becomes a yellowish green color. That is, example, white part of the eyeball, and skin and nails also, which becomes light yellow greenish in color. That is the symptoms of the jaundice. And coming to the second one, vomiting. Throwing out the food materials. Food from the stomach. So the entire condition which is controlled by the medulla oblongata of the brain part is mentioned. Some fecal matter is stored in the rectum temporarily due to the intake of less water content, means which does not regulate the bowel movements frequently. This does not replace the bowel movements frequently. Another one is diarrhea. Diarrhea is nothing but which is abnormal frequency of the bowel movements and increase the liquidity of the fecal matter. Fecal matter, which mostly leads to the dehydration or nothing but mostly loss of water. And another one is frequently removal of fecal matter frequently. So this is another one is diarrhea. Diarrhea, bowel movements and increase the liquidity of the fecal matter and increases the liquidity of the fecal matter also and increases the liquidity of the fecal matter. And another one is indigestion. Another one is indigestion. Another one due to the overeating and more spicy food. Intake of more spicy food which leads to the indigestion. So first one is jaundice and another one is vomiting and third one is constipation and fourth one is diarrhea and another one is indigestion. Among all these five, mostly which one is affected means frequently affected means constipation and second one is indigestion, because irregularity of the intake of water molecules and taking of more spicy food and irregularity of the food materials which leads to these two types of conditions. Most of the human beings are affected by these two types of conditions, constipation and second one is indigestion. These are the disorders of digestive system.